What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Physique Revival Podcast. This is your host, Alex Gibson.
And Lainey Taylor.
And today we're trying out something brand new. We're actually recording this podcast on video.
I feel like I don't know. Should I look at the camera? Should I look at you? Not the viewfinder.
Yeah,
so bear with us, guys. But we wanted to make it a little bit more, we can hang out a little bit on YouTube. I personally like podcasts where I can watch them. You know that I listen to that or watch that literally all day. If I'm not doing something when I'm like needing to work and focus, I like being able to like see what they're doing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it's going to be cool putting these on YouTube and you can see a little bit more of our personality and things like that. But Lainey and I love podcasting. It's been really fun. It's been a great way to disconnect with everyone that listens to the show. And we're really grateful for the support that we've received. And so today we're actually going to talk a little bit more about our story and how we first met. So we posted on Instagram the other day about...
Yesterday,
What was the caption again? I came up with it. From killing it to we're killing it.
Yeah, the first part was like, shoot your shot with your crush, move across country. It basically like it's going to work out if it's meant to be, but you're not going to know unless you try. And then from you're killing it to like we're killing it. And then it took 2.5 hours of our Saturday night. I don't regret it. I'm glad I found the screenshot to go all the way back up in our... Alec was a little annoyed. All the way back up in our Instagram messages to find the screenshot of that first DM that he sent me. Because I was like, we got to put that on like our wedding or like on our wall or something.
We literally would DM like nonstop.
We had so many messages. And Instagram, like, I'm grateful that it still kept all the data, but like, it was taking forever to load. There was literally too many messages.
One day of messages to like go like that far back. It was like back in 2023.
Yeah.
It would literally take like 5 minutes to load one day of messages.
Half a day.
Half a day,
because we talked so much before we like got each other's, like, I think we DM'd for like maybe 3 days before we texted or something probably. Mm-hmm. But we still talked for the most part on there. Like we scheduled you coming to visit me on there too. That was cute to like look back on those.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But let's just provide a little like kind of context. Like, first of all, like, were you looking for a relationship at all?
No, absolutely not. I was living in Houston. I was maybe looking at moving to Austin. I was like just meeting some great friends. I guess having a great time. I'd been in a like semi-serious relationship before. Just I had a couple of really bad relationships, and I was like, I'm thriving on my own right now. I'm like meeting all these people, going to this new city. Like my business is doing great, like social media, bodybuilding. And I just felt like a man, like how they previously had, was totally going to weigh me down. So I like was not looking.
Yeah, I wasn't really looking either, to be honest. I mean, I had just gotten out of like a 2.5-year relationship, and it got pretty toxic and bad towards the end. And, you know, we tried to salvage it for like 6 months, and it just wasn't getting any better. And so I was the one who finally pulled the plug. And yeah, it was definitely a transition period, but that was about 4 months before I messaged you. Mm-hmm. And so then after that, I was just like enjoying being single, and like I feel like I was just in a place where... I moved from West Palm to Boca, and, you know, just like meeting new friends and new people here in Boca. And then one day I was just on Instagram and saw Lainey on the Explore page looking all shredded, and I was like, God damn, who's that? And I was like,
my shoulders, right?
Yeah, her shoulders were like striated, and like I'm really into those like fitness chicks.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, like let me just I don't like to come off like too strong. I didn't want to say something creepy because I knew she probably wouldn't respond. So like I literally was just like,
you just followed me at first.
Yeah, I followed you at first, and then I'm like, all right, like a couple days later, I'm like, I should probably like say something. Like I want to slide in.
It was like a week or so, but like you first followed me. And I saw like that you followed me, and I was like, holy shit, that guy is very attractive. But I was looking at like your recent posts, and you had one with, I know her now, her name's Alani, and she's super sweet, and she's another like fitness bodybuilder girl that lives in the area, and you guys had posted a back day together. So of course I was like, they must be dating. I'm not gonna, like, I'll follow him back, but like I'm not gonna like message or anything, because like I'm gonna be honest, I've like slid into people's DMs before to like hit on them and stuff. Like I'm like aggressive with it, but I was like, nah, he's got a girl, like I would not do that. And then when you messaged me at first, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, dang, is he a tool? And he's messaging me, he's got a girlfriend. But then you didn't.
No, I mean, I thought it was hilarious when you thought that, because it was like far from it. Like we're literally just friends. And, but yeah, I mean, so I just like subtly slid in your DMs, and then.
And what'd you say?
Said killing it.
With an emoji?
No.
An exclamation point?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Just killing it, guys. I was like, this man, should I respond to him? Like, he's acting all cool. And I was like, yeah, he's really hot. I'm going to respond regardless.
Yeah, then from there we were messaging, and the craziest, like, this was like one of the craziest deals I've ever seen. So, like, down here in South Florida, like, we have 3 airports that we can basically, like, utilize that are all within an hour.
Wait. No, so we were messaging, like, nonstop. Like, we loved talking to each other, and, like, I didn't have to, like, think too. I just said whatever I thought, and you were too, and we got, like, great banter, like, flirting really hard. So then at one point, you were like, oh, I have a lot of friends in Austin that are mutuals, because that's, like, one of the things that we'd connected over, like, our buddy Patrick, and, like, Tino and them. And you're like, well, I got a lot of buddies in Austin. I'll have to come to Texas to visit after prep. And he just told me he was starting prep for, like, bodybuilding. And that's, like, at least 12 weeks. I'm like, I'm not going to wait, like, 4, 5, 6 months to go, like, maybe meet this man. I was like, I'm going to lose interest. So when you'd said, like, oh, I'll have to come after prep. And I was like, well, prep doesn't get hard until the end of it. You should just come now.
Yeah. And so she convinced me. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make some sacrifices. And so anyways, then I was looking at flights, and what I was saying is, so, like, this area, it's, like, actually, like, insanely cheap to fly anywhere.
Yeah, South Florida.
Fort Lauderdale is a major airport, tons of flights. It's also
a Spirit hub.
Yeah, it's a Spirit hub.
We love Spirit.
Then there's West Palm Beach, which has a good airport, pretty cheap flights, and there's also Miami. So, like, I had a million options to look at, and I found a Spirit flight for literally $30. And I was joking around. I'm like, literally, for me to take an Uber to, like, let's say go out on a Saturday night, it's $50.
Yeah.
Like, literally
$30 round trip.
The fact that I could go to Texas for $30 round trip, I'm like, yep, booked immediately. Like, but even if it was more expensive, like, I probably would have thought you're worth it and probably paid $300, $400, $500. But yeah, so then honestly, like, I flew into Houston. I remember the first time we met, it was like kind of awkward.
I think we kissed right away when you got in the car,
I
I picked you up.
I mean, it wasn't like really awkward, but yeah, it was.
You're still getting to know each other. You gotta be
still getting to know each other.
Make sure they're the same in person.
Yeah, then we were in Houston for a couple days, and then I booked us an Airbnb in Austin.
Yeah, because I was looking at moving there.
Yeah, what did we even do in Austin when we were there?
We just, like, explored. We went to Delights. I think we maybe got the Salty or something.
Went to Factory.
We went to some gyms. We went paddle boarding. That was fun.
Walking
around. That's why you asked me. Like, the second day there.
Yeah, when we were paddle boarding, I asked Lainey to be my girlfriend because I was just, like, so sure about her. And, like, when I was single, before I, like, started messaging Lainey, like, not gonna lie, I was kind of, like, playing the field a little bit. I mean, it's my first time in, like, almost 3 years being single. And then as soon as, like, I really was hitting it off with Lainey, like, I literally broke it off with every other girl that I was talking to.
Yeah, you said, like, a week or 2 into it.
Yeah, and then from there I was, like, fully committed. I'm like, all right, this girl, she's supportive, she understands, like, my bodybuilding. We had a ton in common, which, like, made it so easy to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And then, like, we didn't really find out, like, right away, but, like, a couple months into dating, that's when we found out, like, we had even more in common than we thought.
It was,
like,
weird.
Like, our, like, my cousin...
Wait, where did they find that out? Tell that. Is it like a family reunion?
Yeah, like a family gathering.
But
or
you
something.
weren't there.
I wasn't there, no. But my parents were talking to my cousin because Lainey grew up, like, where I used to live in Madison. I only lived there for about 6 months, but had family ties there for a long time, and my cousins still live there. And so my dad and my mom were talking to my cousin Adam, and, like, said, like, Lainey's last name.
That you're talking to a girl from, like, the area or something that does, like, fitness social media.
Yeah.
And just said that. And then automatically Adam was like, there is one person from Verona that does that.
I don't think it happened like that.
That's what I heard.
I honestly can't remember, but I don't think
Either way.
I think it was, they said Taylor. They said the last name. I think that's how.
How would they know my last name?
Because I told my parents your name, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Either way.
And then, of course, my cousin Adam knows your sister's last name.
They were, like, best friends in high school.
Yeah, they were, like, best friends in high school, and then what was the car story?
Oh my god, Allie's gonna kill me. Allie doesn't listen to this though. She got my, like, hand-me-down first car, and I thought it was, like, it wasn't, like, old. It was, like, 2008, like, year car. So she named it Babbler. And I just figured it was, like, maybe it, like, Sloughed on the highway. It's his last name. She named it after.
Mom's maiden name.
She named it. So I told when I met your aunt for the first time, I was like, oh yeah, Allie named her car after you. And she was not happy that I told that story. So sorry, Allie, if you ever see this, I love you, but she's never going to watch this.
Yeah. But then, so then we were doing long distance after Austin. So like Austin, that was a fun trip.
Yeah.
We were doing long distance.
No, I came with you right away to Florida.
Did you?
Yeah, we got on a plane together. We came here and we landed, and it was like night, and you wanted to go to the beach. We were walking around the beach at night. I have like a video of us on the beach, like walking, holding hands.
Oh yeah, that was in Delray, right?
I might have. Yeah, right by Drift. And I was like, oh my gosh, this man is like so romantic. I was like, damn, I like really like him.
Yeah, and then we were like pretty much inseparable. Like we would maybe only go like a week or two without seeing each other, but what we quickly found was that like we enjoyed Florida so much more than Texas.
Oh God, yeah.
Like when we were in Texas, we're like, oh, this isn't bad, but like we found that Austin was just a very, very big party city. And I wouldn't say we really found a lot of fun activities that we enjoyed doing that didn't involve like drinking or eating out.
Love running outside. If you have a dog, if you like drinking or eating, like it's like junk food kind of stuff. If you love those, Austin's a great community. It's so good for like fitness, like entrepreneurial connections, things like that. But the lifestyle aspect of it just wasn't really in alignment for us.
Yeah. So then when it came time, it was like 6 months after we started dating, or maybe like 8 months, somewhere around there. I was like, you're moving to Florida. And you were in complete agreement with it.
I mean, I'd stay in Florida for like 3-4 weeks at a time. Your poor roommate was like, get this girl out of here.
Yeah, my buddy Josh was probably like, dude, I hate you, Alex. Like, your girlfriend's always here. And like, we had like a small 2-bedroom, 2-bath like apartment.
Yeah,
and, like,
and we both work from home. And
yeah, so we were always constantly there.
Thank you, Josh, for letting me stay.
Yeah. But then like when we started looking around at like places we were going to move, we had an issue with like her lease lining up with like the end of my lease. And so what ended up happening was we knew we wanted to move in together, and we found the place that we live at now. But there was like a period of like a month where I was essentially like homeless. And so I put all my shit in storage for about a month. And then literally just had one suitcase full of like clothes and stuff, and then moved to Austin
with his cat.
For a month. Yeah, with my cat. So I had to drug up my cat and put her on the plane for the first time.
Spirit took away your little Space Cadet backpack for her.
Yeah, that was BS. But yeah, then we moved to Austin for about a month. That was a fun month. And then from there we moved in together here in Florida, and then.
And we love it, and we're never leaving.
Yeah, no, we're excited. I mean, it's just crazy because we both took like a lot of like risks to make this relationship happen, but
it never felt like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't like worried. Other
people looking at her probably just like, what the hell are these two doing?
Yeah.
But we were like, yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah, and then we started Physique Revival together like a little bit later on.
We talked about that when I was looking at those DMs back and forth. Like a month into knowing each other, we were talking about how we'll eventually combine businesses.
Yeah.
Like I think I told you that when we were doing our little FaceTime dates, like on the third one or whatever. I was like, well, that's the expectation I have for a boyfriend. And you were like, sweet.
Now the thing that really like attracted me to Lainey was that like she was successful on her own. Like, and I'm sure she kind of looked at me and was like, oh, you're successful on your own. And so I just like looked at her and I'm like, damn, she's a badass. Like she's in amazing shape. She has the same priorities, the same lifestyle as me. She's extremely intelligent. Like, don't let her blonde hair fool you. She's like really, really smart. And she was literally like everything that I wanted in my ideal partner. And then from there, like we just got along so well. Like things felt super easy and natural, like not forced in any way. So like pretty quickly on, I'm like, damn, like this is a girl that I can see myself falling in love with, and like I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't just like go all in 110% with this relationship. And I mean, it literally has worked out super well, and I'm excited to get a home together. We're probably going to get a puppy here later this year. Hopefully that's the plan.
Travel the world.
Yeah, we have some badass trips. We're going to French Polynesia this year, so we're going to go to Bora Bora, which we talked about on actually a previous podcast. We're looking for people to go with us, and it's going to be, there's going to be some health and fitness routines integrated, as well as exploring all that stuff. We're actually going to have the founder of Yacht Americas on the podcast here sometime soon, so be on the lookout for that. So that's one of the cool trips. Then we're planning Bali right now, so a post-prep trip to Bali, Indonesia, which is like, I've seen Bali on social media so much. It looks amazing.
I'm so excited. Literally, because we thought about going to Mexico, because last year for our anniversary we went to Mexico, and then we kind of heard it like just really wasn't safe right now, and then we were like, maybe we just go to like Florida Keys or something. And then one morning Alex looked at me, we were getting ready for the gym, and he goes, "You want to go to Thailand?" I was like, I mean, I kind of want to go to Bali. And he go, "I'll go to Bali."
Yeah, I think we were looking at Phuket, or at least I was looking at Phuket, Thailand. But yeah, I'm big into traveling, and like,
I never was.
When I met Lainey, she was like not traveled at all. Like,
we did not grow up. We went to Florida. That was the coolest place I'd ever been, was Florida.
And like, one of the things we kind of want to talk about, so obviously we kind of just talked about like the backstory, is like how we support each other, how we've made each other like healthier, happier, and then how we've also supported each other in getting hotter as well by just committing to our fitness journeys. But like, one thing that I think I've really kind of helped Lainey with is being like open-minded and more adventurous. Like, I'm a very adventurous person. I love traveling. I grew up like traveling. Like, that was something like family always went on like cool trips like every year. I've been to like 47 out of the 50 US states. We have traveled to Europe as a family, like all that stuff. And like, your family didn't really do that.
No, we went to Florida every year. We had family that lived there, so we'd usually drive down like for Christmas or spring break or something. But that's pretty much it.
But now you love travel, and you're like, let's go on these crazy trips. And I'm like, I'm down.
Yeah, like, I always thought they looked cool, but I don't know, I could never get myself to do it. And like, even like the yachting trip or whatever, I'm terrified of water and sharks. Like, terrified. I think I watched River Monsters too much as a kid or something, and I'm willing to go just because it looks cool. And I don't know, if you weren't going, I would not go. But for some reason, I think you're gonna make me safe from the sharks.
The probability of like sharks attacking you is like so freaking low.
But the probability of you surviving that is even lower.
I mean, I feel like a shark might take a limb or something, but they're probably not.
I want those.
Probably not.
I need those for my job.
No, I hear you for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think just kind of going back to what I was saying, like, we've kind of like perfectly complementing each other in a lot of ways, and like, right now, like, being on prep, like, Lainey's helped a little bit more with like taking care of the house, which has been like extremely helpful. I mean, we normally like meal prep together to a certain degree, especially in like when I'm bulking and like have more energy and stuff, like, but she's taken like a lot of meal prep off my plate. So like, she'll go grocery shopping. Today she's going to Costco to pick us up more rice. And so like, when I'm not able to do things, right, she steps up. And then like, when she was going through like her health phase and like was kind of down bad, I stepped up in a lot of ways, right? So like, I think that's important in any relationship, is like having a partner who's going to pick up slack when it's needed.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and I feel like they worded it really well. It was like Jay Shetty and Mel Robbins, and they were basically saying like, what love is like, you like take care of their needs and they take care of yours. Like, you still take care of yourself, right? But like, you let the other person do that, and where you need them to like pick up slack or whatever it is, like, they're just jumping on it to go be able to help you. And that's like what true partnership is like, you help each other with that. And I feel like when we first started dating, you were on prep and I was starting a gut protocol, and my health got like really bad. So it was kind of nice that we couldn't like go out to eat and drink, because like we both kind of couldn't with that. So we had to be kind of creative. So I guess maybe we could talk about that too, like what we did. But I'd never had someone just like care for me and love for me and be so understanding. Because like, when I was like, when I say my health was bad, y'all, like, I didn't really show it a lot on social media. Like, I was really struggling for a long time, and this was like the beginning of our relationship, and you were nothing but loving and patient, and I could tell that it was frustrating. Like, you don't want a girlfriend that can't freaking eat out, and she's in pain and bloated and whatever, just like not myself with everything. And like, you were just like, obviously it was like frustrating, and like, we'd be able to talk about it, but you never made me feel bad or anything for it. You just made me feel supported. And I think that's why I wouldn't say it was easy to get through, but it was way easier than what I see, like, if some of my clients are ever going through something similar and they don't have that kind of support system. Like, you were definitely a big reason of why I got better as quick quick as I did.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough, seeing you like that. But, at the same time, like, I'm not someone who's, like, quite as wild as I used to be. If I was, like, 5 years ago, like, I loved to party. And, like, that was just kind of, like, what I thought was, like, the cool lifestyle. And then I feel like I've really matured a lot the last couple of years, and a big part of that's like there's bodybuilding and getting more serious about entrepreneurship and my goals and all that stuff. And then like I knew like I thought you were amazing then, even with those health issues, but I'm like, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, this girl can only get better. And like your energy and stuff, the way you show up for yourself now, since you've been feeling better, I know your health still isn't like 100% perfect.
It's so much better than it was
it's so
before,
much better.
Yeah.
It's like, and now we're able to like do more fun things, and it's like, it's awesome. Like it was worth the wait, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes like patience is a virtue. And I think like, I just saw the potential there that you had and like that we had together. And I'm like, this is something like, even though right now, like we're both maybe not in the most ideal situation, it's worth it. Like we just got to stick it out.
And I didn't even feel like it was hard. I'm like, damn, if this is like supposed to be like a hard fucking time, like it just brought us closer together. And that's part of how I knew. I was like, damn, like I really, like I think it was New Year's maybe, and I'd like just flown in, and you really wanted to go out, but I was feeling terrible, and I was like, I don't want to go out. And I could tell you were like obviously like a little bummed, but you were like, fine, we're gonna turn the ball drop on the TV, we're gonna dance around the living room. Like it was so sweet. I was like, damn, I love this band so much. And that was the first time I knew that I loved you, because I don't know, I'd never had someone like be like that towards me.
Yeah, no, it's crazy how our relationships progressed. I mean, I feel like I've known Lainey for like 5 years, and like we're extremely close. Like our whole life is like intertwined at this point. But it's only been like less than 2 years, which is pretty insane.
Yeah. 2 years of talking on the 28th of May, and then 2 years of officially dating on the 8th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I also wanted to talk about, just because kind of what you mentioned, we kind of wanted to briefly share this of like kind of a joke, kind of not, for how we've helped each other get happier, healthier, hotter, and wealthier.
Yeah.
Whatever, basically. And just like just supporting each other, just being each other's like best friend, ride or die, like call each other out if they're just like, yo, you're not showing up for yourself the way that I know you want to. And just the way that we've kind of designed like our lifestyle and our relationship, if there's kind of nuggets I guess people could take. Not that we're like this ideal relationship, but I do feel like there's maybe parts of like health and fitness are so big for us, or the way that we are together and things like that. Like that was something I always wanted in a relationship. And I know that we both put a lot of work in on ourselves to be able to get to this point. I feel like one of the big things that really helped strengthen our relationship and help all those is we don't go out to eat and drink like all the time. Like I definitely would with like old relationships. That was just like my lifestyle. We'd eat out and drink and do whatever. And obviously like health and all those things aren't the best when you do those. It was really nice when we first started dating, because you were on prep and I was in a gut protocol, so we couldn't eat out, couldn't drink, like I said. So if we'd go out to dates, it would be like mini golf or concerts or movies or axe throwing or paddle boarding, or we go for walks all the time. Like it was always stuff where we'd be able to like look at each other, maybe not the movies, but like just talk and like go do things and interact. And it wasn't spending money on stuff. It wasn't like the relationship weight kind of thing that usually happens. It was just us doing stuff that we loved and like exploring the world together.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, a lot of the things that like I enjoy most on a daily basis, like with Lainey, are like I love our morning walks. I love going to the gym together, which we don't go to the gym together like every single day.
We don't train together.
We don't train together every single day, but we typically both work out like the same days just about every single week in the morning around the exact same time, so that like helps us like stay consistent with our fitness routines.
Yeah, and if we don't train together, I always get some pictures and some videos of how you're looking at your training session.
We get content for each other, so that helps out with like social media. With our business, like we have like, set days where we have meetings. We have like set times to record our podcast. So like when we first started like working together with Physique Revival, like not gonna lie guys, like shit was so disorganized.
Yeah.
And it was like then quickly like Lainey, being the type A person that she is, was like, all right, we need to like get more structure to this. And like one of the things that she's helped me with is like I've gotten a lot more structured with like
Yeah.
having a daily schedule and like
Your planner.
not doing as much
Yeah.
like random shit. I use a planner, so like she's rubbed off on me. I'm maybe not quite as psychotic with some of the planning as Lainey is, but she's like inspired me to grow in those ways. And then one thing that I also love about her, and like it's very similar to kind of like how I am, is like she's constantly seeking out ways to grow. And if we grow individually, that's only going to help us grow together. So like she listens to like a lot of podcasts and things like that. So do I, right? So we're both really focused on our own personal growth because that helps to create the union and make the union even stronger.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes in relationships, like people kind of just get complacent. They stop focusing on their personal growth. And like Lainey was saying, sometimes, you know, the only thing that couples do together is like entertainment, whether it's like, you know, eating out or drinking, but like we actually do activities together that, you know, are going to be meaningful, or like we'll go on work dates together. And like, even if we're not like talking 24/7, like just knowing that like, hey, my partner's down. If I have to get work done on a Friday night, she's down to go hang out with me and sit with me. Like,
Yeah,
like
go
that's
together.
awesome.
Yeah. I feel like we have a really unique lifestyle that we've created. And I feel like there might be people that kind of look at it and be like, well, that's not realistic. But also just like for context, like, I mean, I grew up small town Wisconsin. I was going to be an elementary teacher. It was going to be my first job. I was in medical sales for a bit, like completely dropped that to go all in on coaching, moved across country a couple times. Like, we're just like normal people, but we just had this idea that like we could do a lot more and we could achieve a lot more. And I think us having those mindsets is part of what helps make the both of us so strong, because we don't have like a, like it's always like this growth oriented mindset, positive, supportive, like just like looking for all the good in things and knowing that you can keep getting better and like supporting each other with that. That's what I think is really attractive in you.
Yeah, we're
Is that
both like
confidence, yeah.
focused on like serving people too. And like Lainey said, like I'm from small town Wisconsin as well. And I'm from like, I lived in Wisconsin for about 6 months. Then I moved to a small town in Chicago, like the suburbs of Chicago. And one of the reasons why we love Florida so much is because we're in a very inspiring atmosphere and a very inspiring environment, versus like when I lived in the Midwest, and like Lainey can relate to this, it just felt like people were very complacent, like people didn't take care of their health, people weren't, you know, seeking out ways that they could provide more value to the marketplace and make themselves more valuable. And like here in Florida, one of the reasons why we love being here is because we're constantly surrounded by examples of success. And instead of looking at those examples of success and being like envious, right, we're actually just like, damn, those are just normal people too.
Yeah, and
like
you get to talk to them and they're nice and they just tell you their story and they just work their butt off, and like it's the coolest thing. I never thought I would live somewhere like this. So driving around, like especially seeing like palm trees or like the crazy cars and houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's just really cool to see that, and also know that you have the same kind of thought process of like, we could help so many people, we could do so many things. Like there really is no limit to it.
The only limits are the limits you place on yourself,
Yes.
right? And those are self-limiting beliefs, right? So once you start to remove those self-limiting beliefs through action, I feel like that's the best way to kind of like get out of your head, right? Get out of your head, get into your life.
Yeah.
Is kind of what I tell clients. Like you start taking those actions, and like you might not see results immediately, but you keep on pushing forward and you keep looking at like, all right, how could I have done this better, right? Because like you're gonna fail inevitably. Like I failed so many times in business. I made so many, you know, bad decisions financially, whether it's like, you know, a bad investment into like a business coach that was a complete sham.
Oh yeah.
Or
Most
something
of them
like
are.
that, right? And you live and you learn, right? So like I never made myself feel like super shitty about making that decision, but I asked myself those tough questions of like, all right, what could I have done to make sure that didn't happen?
Yeah.
And how can I learn from it going forward? And like having that mindset of like, all right, I'm gonna fail, but I just got to keep on failing forward, I think is like something that we both really embraced.
Yeah, and I think we really bring that out of each other. Like we're both super supportive of anything that we want to do. We'll call each other out if they're not really acting in alignment to what they said that their goals were. And not in like a mean way, but just question, like, hey, you said this was important to you, but like I see you doing this. Like is there something I can do to support you with this? Like is this what you really want to do? Like we're like the best type of support. I feel like it's you definitely, anything I say, you're like, fuck yeah. Like, I could tell you, like, I want to be president. You'd be like, go for it, babe. You'd be like, what do you need from me? Like, I don't want to do that. But
we're almost like
yeah.
each other's, like, accountability partners, as well as, like...
Biggest cheerleaders,
Biggest cheerleaders. Like, she's been incredibly supportive of this prep, and, like, something that I think about on a daily basis, like, I need to keep getting better and keep on evolving because I want to be the man that's worthy of her. Because, like, from the time we met to now, she's, like, oh my gosh, like, I can't tell you how much she's grown. And, like, even I even tell her, I'm like, you're more beautiful than we first met.
You make
like,
me cry.
like, you're more beautiful than we first met. I'm like, damn, like, I literally, like, I had, like, a 10 out of 10 when we first started dating. Now you're, like, a 12 out of 10. So, I love you, too.
I tell you that, too. I was like, damn, I feel like I'm dating a whole new boyfriend. It's, like, the 2.0 version. Because, like, I thought you were the hottest thing I had ever seen. Like, I was even telling my friend Meg this.
I look back at my haircut. My haircut was shit.
You had the best personality too, but I was telling Meg, my friend, and I was like, literally, if you asked me to write down, like, very specifically what my type was like, I was like, he would check every box, every single box of it. And when I would try to look for something wrong when we were on our little FaceTime dates, the one thing was, like, you had a goofy voice you talked to your little cat in. It was like a tiny little cat. He was like this big bodybuilder. And I
haven't
like,
done that in a while.
No, wait, you're tired though. I'm proud.
Yeah.
But I was like, if this is the one thing where he's just like sweet and goofy to his cat, I was like, yeah, I like him. But you've, like, the way that you've grown and, like, matured and, like, not only, like, your looks, but, like, yes, you're definitely more attractive. Even more so. But now it's kind of to the point where, like, I thought you checked all the boxes, but it's like, I never thought that I could have a partner as good as you. Like, who you are, how you are to everybody else. Like, I tell people, I was like, I brag about you all the time of just, like, everything that you've done. But, like, you could talk to a wall and make the wall feel special.
I get that from my dad, by the way. So my dad is, he's very much so a jokester. But my dad is, like, my biggest role model. He literally has, like, worked his ass off to get my family. Like, when we lived in Chicago for, like, the first, like, 12 years of my life, like, we lived, like, very, very modestly. And my dad, like, got a huge breakthrough opportunity from just, like, 20 plus years of just, you know, putting his head down, grinding. So then we moved to Philly. Like, we definitely were in a little bit better position financially, and, you know, we could afford some nicer things. But, like, he taught me hard work. But one of the things I also really absorbed from him was, like, my dad learned it from his dad, so from my grandpa, to just, you know, treat everyone with a certain level of respect, but then also make people, like, smile, make people happy. And so, like, we'd be at restaurants growing up, and my dad would, like, you know, make, like, funny jokes, and next thing you know, like, the waiter and waitress, or, like, the waiter or waitress are, like, laughing their ass off. Mm-hmm. And, like, you know, sometimes it's, like, very stupid, like, witty things that he says, but you know, I saw my dad, like, he literally had no fear talking to anyone growing up. And so I feel like, you know, just kind of, like, through being a sponge and just, like, because you learn a lot from your parents, right? And, like, that's also when you're younger, you're very impressionable. And so my, like, extrovertedness definitely came from him.
Absolutely.
With, like, just, like, meeting new people. And that's one thing I'm huge with, is just, like, meeting new people. And you never know, like, how you can make someone's day. You never know who you're gonna, you know, bump shoulders with. You never know who you can help, right? You never really know. So it's like, just love people and, you know, treat people with kindness and respect, and you know, just look to spark up conversation, learn about others.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to chat about?
I mean, I would say the thing that I'm most excited about is, like, you know, we're at this point now where, you know, it's crazy to say, but, like, almost 2 years in our relationship, and I'm just excited for the next 20, the next 40, the next 60 years, and, like, we have a lot of plans for both, like, business, our relationship, building a family, and, like, it's just awesome knowing that I, like, finally found my person, and we're gonna be able to go through life together, and just, like, if we're here now, being 27, well, you're 26, but...
Yeah, almost.
But if we're here now at 27, like, I can't even imagine where we're going to be by 30, or 35 or 40. And, like, I know we both have, like, the, you know, the no break mentality. Like, we're going to keep on putting the pedal to the metal and just maximizing our life, because only get one life, guys. You got to make the most of it. And I'm super excited to have this rock star by my side.
Yeah, I love you. I'm excited for everything we're
I
gonna
love you too.
do this year and the rest of the years. I feel like every couple days I look at you like, I can't wait to be married to you. I can't wait to have kids. I can't wait to do this and do that. And
Yeah.
obviously, like, just love where we're at right now. And I've never really been able to say, like, holy shit, like, I love my life.
Yeah.
Like,
me
I
too.
love all the things, and you're definitely a big part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that was a little insight into our story, guys, and hopefully you liked the video. If you're watching this on YouTube, shout out to you. And yeah, I mean, we're really getting on the content grind. We want to be able to share more of our life with you guys in just a raw, honest, and transparent way. If you're listening to the podcast, we appreciate you as always. If these episodes provide you value, all we ask, like, we don't run any ads or anything to our podcast or really any of our socials right now. We just appreciate if you'd share with a friend, a family member, or someone that you think might get some value from what we provide. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the love and support, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast episode.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.